Hello everyone. This is Akil Ahmed. Welcome to Akil's class of computer science. I teach O-levels, A-levels, IGCSE and EdXL, computer science and information technology in Pakistan. And I have many international students, foreign students who take my online tuitions. For tuition, you guys can contact me at the given contact information. If you're a parent or a student and you're worried, no problem. I can get you rid of the trouble, inshallah. I started my teaching career from the Greenwich University back in 1996. It's like more than 25 years of experience. Other than that, I've been teaching in different colleges and schools too. I personally believe that learning never ends, and for that, I attended a couple of international conferences also. These are the glimpses of that conference, different trainings that I got. So, guys, today objective of this video conference was to talk about pre-release material of O-levels. So wish you all the best. Happy computing. I'm going to talk about pre-release material now. So let's see. Let's start. Here we go. So guys, this was the pre-release material. Came for the November examination, and a lot of practice is needed. And the student personally get hands-on experience. Practical classes needed. I'll try to cover up everything quickly in one video or maybe in multiple videos. We'll see that it depends upon the length of this video. So just in case if you missed out something, so and we won't be able to cover up this whole thing today, then I'm going to record my another video and you can watch that too. So it's the paper 221022, paper number 2, variant number 2, and this is the pre-release material, meaning it is published before the examination, and then you guys are to go through it thoroughly because similar type of thing would come in your paper too. It says your preparation for the examination should include attempting the following practical tasks by writing and testing a program or programs, meaning in order to solve this, to prepare yourself for the examination, if you have to write down one program, write it, or you have to write down multiple programs, write them down, and then test them thoroughly also. Hands-on experience, practical evidence is needed. An online computer shop sells customized personal computers. Every computer should include a basic set of components. Component costing $200 and additional items can be added for the table, from the table. So this table is given there. And then this table has got categories, item description, and the price is all written there. So in programming, we'll have to create an array for this, and we'll see how the things are going to be done. It says as well as the basic set of component that one can order, basic set of component. Every computer must include one case, one RAM, and one main hard disk drive from the table. So if you're buying this basic component, this includes what examiner says that you go one case. Out of this, you'll be buying one of these items, and then one of these RAMs, and then you'll be buying one of these hard drives. So basically, from row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. When the task would begin, so in the beginning, you'll have to make choice from one of these items. So you'll be choosing one item from these two, and one item from these three, and one item from these three. Altogether, three items will make up your basic set of computer. So basic component includes these things. It says a computer is supplied with or without an operating system. Well, that's the case always. You can have no operating system, or can have operating system. Operating system can be installed, pre-installed in it. It's got nothing to do with the solution though. Let's skip it and move forward. It says write and test a program or programs for the online computer shop. Fine, we'll do that. We'll write and test also. Your program must include appropriate prompts, meaning when you enter the data, for example, you're entering the price. So your computer should display a kind of message, it should prompt you that enter price. This kind of thing should appear on the screen, enter price. You know, this is called appropriate prompts. When you are entering the description, so it should say enter description. So this kind of messages should appear onto your computer screen so that you can read them and enter data. And say data must be validated on entry meaning you have to check. Wrong data should be rejected, correct data should be accepted. Error messages and other output need to be set out clearly and understandably. Your program should have this quality that whenever you make a mistake, in entering data, it should produce an error. So all error messages should be reported. All arrays, variable, constant, and other identifier must have the meaningful name. For example, you're defining a variable price, so call it price, don't call it X. So give it a meaningful name so that it will be easier for you to see where the price is stored or where the item is stored. If you want to record the item number, for example, so just in case, if you want that to be recorded, so you can define a variable item ID or item code, so give it a meaningful name. Although you can define a variable as Y or Z also, but you will have no idea what you have in Y or what you have in Z. So it's better that you have to have a variable with a proper name. You will need to complete 3 tasks, and this is what is expected that you complete task number 1, task number 2, task number 3. Maybe an examiner would tell you to write task 1 only. Maybe would tell you to write task 1, and in the other question can ask you to write task 2, or maybe can ask you to write task 3. So it can be, in the paper, maybe it would ask you that you write 2 of them, or maybe 1 of them, or maybe all of them, right? And then we'll be solving the expected question that can be made using these tasks. Let's start the task number 1. It says setting up a system and ordering the main items. Write a program to use arrays to store the item code. This will be the first array, and description, this can be the second array, and the price, this can be the third array. Now, for example, if you have a variable code only, so code variable can hold only single data. For example, you're writing a code, this kind of thing, 10, or maybe A10, like that. So it just have one single data in it. But when you say description, meaning you're writing RAM, suppose. So variable description can have one data only. Examiner doesn't want that. Examiner says arrays. What is array and how is it better than the variable? So arrays is something in which you have multiple blocks. And then you can, in the multiple blocks, you can write down different data. For example, you're making an array to record items, right? And there will be many items, so there will be multiple blocks like that. And then over here it says, yeah, these are the item code A1, A2, B1, B2 till G2. And these are altogether 17 rows. So 17 item numbers are to be recorded. So it should begin from 1, should go up till 17, like that. And then different items can be recorded in the same sequence as given by the examiner. So it should not be pre-stored though, because examiner says use array. That was the point number 1, that you declare array. Now the point number 2, allow a customer to choose one case and one RAM and one main hard disk, and calculate the price and output the chosen item onto the screen. That what have you bought, that should be displayed onto the screen. So let's start with the easier thing first. We'll start entering data, item code, and description, and the price. We'll input that, and then we'll see how the arrays are created. We'll input the data, and then we can move to the rest of the thing. So moving to the task number 1. I'll make it long, step by step. So over here, it says constant record as 3. So in the table, there were 17 records given, so you can make an array of 17. So constant meaning this number will not change. The number of rows that were provided in that table. So over here, altogether 17 rows are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that, till 17 rows are there. So here we can define a constant 17. And then examiner said that you create 3 different array. Item code should have 17 rows in it, and description should have 17 rows in it, right? And then the price should have the 17 rows in it. And these are the 2 variables that will have alphabetical data, right? That is why I've defined it as a string. And this variable I and price, I is a variable that will be a loop control variable. Price is needed to record 17 different prices of item. So this will do what? This will create 3 different arrays. One is called item code, The other array is called description, and the other array is called price. And these two will hold alphabetic data. Why? Because it says a string. And if we refer to this PDF also, item code has letter and number mixed, so it has to be a string. Description has letters in it, has to be string. This has numbers in it, it can be defined as number. So we'll come back here, and then we have created arrays of 17 locations. So that means the location number would begin from 1 and will go up till 17. So actually, you'll have to make a program to fill this table provided by an examiner. So you make it yourself. I mean, you make this table yourself. So you got to write down the commands to input data in it. So what are the things that we have to input? We have to input 3 things in it, like examiner said. Examiner said that you have three arrays, and then you're entering data in it. So there it is. Item code, array number 1, description, and price. These are the 3 arrays. So we'll see how we can enter the data in 3 arrays. So for that, we'll be writing down the instructions like that. So those who have some programming background, because you reach to this stage if you have all programming background, right? Meaning after completing 1 year of programming exercises, then you reach to this stage and you design the pre-release solution, right? So I expect that the people who are watching me, they have some idea. Anyways, there is a for loop and I'm using VB. In VB, I'm writing for I is equals to 1 to record. Record meaning how many records are there? 17. So I'm trying to make it very simple. Like tomorrow, for example, during the exam, if examiner says the table is expanded or it would reduce the size of the table, it will give you only 10 rows. So you can just make a change here. If you make a change here, everything should change accordingly. So if you want 17 rows, so constant record should be used for all arrays. This array should go from 1 till 17. So now you can write, instead of writing 17, you can write records. Because records is the constant that you have defined. And then you're running a loop from 1 to records. That means it will run 17 times. So this whole thing will run 17 times. It would give you this output message, enter item code. And then you would enter the data and that would go to item code I. So first time the value of I would be 1 and you will be entering the item code. So whatever item code you would enter here, so this item code will be gone to this box. It will be supplied to this, it will be stored here in row number 1, box number 1. And then we'll move to next line. We'll say on your computer screen, this message would appear, enter description, and then description of I, meaning description number 1. And you would enter that. So it will take description from you like that here. And then it says that enter price, and then price number 1 is entered. So you'll be entering the price number 1. And then it will come to this line of next. And next we'll do 2 things. It will send it back there to this line of 4 with an increment in the value of I, so this I will become 2. And then again, it will start taking the input of item code, description, and price for I number 2. I number 2. This I will be keep on changing. So it will prompt you to enter the record number 2 like that. And then you fill the record number 2. Then you will fill item code, description, and price. Record number 2 has been entered. And then it will move up again. So it will prompt you to enter the record number 3. Now I'll run it and check. I will show you how this program would work. It says item code. And you can keep this in front so that you can write down the same data carefully. The first item code we have here is A1. So you can write that there. So I'll turn on the caps lock A1 like that. And then it says enter the description. So you can write compact. And then you can enter the price 75 like that. The first row has been entered. Then it would prompt you to enter the second record. And this will be happening 17 times. But the problem is, this program has been made. It would using this, you can create the table. Now examiner says, here examiner says use array. We did that. Allow customer to choose 1 case, 1 RAM, and 1 main hard disk. Well, you have to check it manually. You can check that there. Calculate the price. We'll calculate the price, but somewhere on the top here it says that make sure that you validate the entry. So what if you enter the wrong data? It should not be accepted. Meaning, you come up here and you enter the code that is not there, item code that is not there. For example, you're writing down the item code Z1. So Z1 is accepted by my program, should not be accepted, has to be rejected. Now we'll have to, make it more refined, and we'll see that what code is to be used that will make it more refined. So we'll expand it further. And I'm going to write all this here. I will explain you here only directly. You know this upper part, we created this, and I've defined another variable, valid. Valid is a Boolean variable that can hold true and false. Now it says 1 to record, that means it will run how many times? You want to run it 3 times or 17 times? Absolutely your choice. And then you can write records everywhere. Wherever you see this 20, you can change it to record, right? And then we have 17 record. We are making that table. Valid initially is false. It will prompt you to enter the item code. Whatever item code you would enter, meaning item number 1, you would enter that, and then it would check the length of it. Is the length of item code number 1 is equals to 2, and then number 2 is equal. It will be checking every item code one by one in sequence as you will be entering. So right now you're entering the first item. If you enter the first item code and you enter the item code that is not true, meaning that has a bigger length or a smaller length, it will not accept. It says that only if the length is 2, then it is true. Otherwise it will be false, and it will be keep on running this. It will be keep on running this, right? If you want to write a message here, error message, you can write else, and you can write console dot write line bracket open, and then you can say invalid ID. Invalid item ID like that. So when you run it, so you enter the code. Now this time the length is calculated 1, 2, and 3. The length is 3. We wanted this length to be 2 only. Why? Because this table was provided to you. And in that table, examiner expect that you would enter the item code of 2 length only, right? So what if you write 3 there, you press enter, so it rejected. It says invalid, and then prompting you to enter it again. So up till now, we haven't entered a single item. Once you enter one correct item code, then it would move to the description. That will come up here to the description, and then you can write compact. So we'll take the second entry of compact. And then we'll move to the price after that, 75. You write that. Now, what if you enter the price -5? I've tested that also in my program is rejected because minimum price according to this can be, you can check that which one is the smallest number. So I feel the smallest number is 49.99. So what if I write 49.99? So that is accepted, not accepted 49.50. Yeah, so I've rounded off. So 50 is the smallest price, suppose. 50 is the smallest price. So if you want to change that number and you want that 49.99 to be accepted as over here, so we'll make the change where? So you come up here, the validation was used here for the item code. This loop is controlling the validation and producing error. Then prompting you to enter the description, and then prompting you to enter the price. You would enter, this output would appear, this price will be entered. So again, yeah, you are entering the item code. Then after the entry, would check the length, and then will make it true or false accordingly. And then it is making true because if the length is 2, then we'll make it true. Otherwise, we'll produce an error. If the valid is equivalent to true, it would come out and prompt you to enter the description because you have entered the correct code. If not, then we'll move it up. We'll go back there to re-enter the item code. So we'll come back here. We'll come back here. We'll enter the description, and then we'll move to this, then the program will run this loop. In this loop, what do we have? It says do loop until the price is more than equals to 50. If you want that price to be more than equals to say 40, suppose. So that means all the prices can be in between 40 to 200, or you can make it 250. So if you are giving a more smaller range and a greater range, find acceptable. So we'll see that what is the smallest number in that and what is the largest number in that, and we'll come back here and we'll enter the same value here. So the smallest number is 49.9. 49.99 is being the smallest number. So you can come back here, you can write more than equals to 49.99. So that means it can be 49.99 or above. And then the second value should be the highest number. The highest number is what? The highest number over here is 299.99. You can write that here, 299.99. And you can enter that. So enter the code A1, enter the description compact suppose, and then you can enter the price. What's the price for the first record? A1 compact and 75. So you can write that 75. And then you're prompting you to enter the next one. You can write B1, and then you can write B1 is what? 8 GB. 8 GB, and the price of that would be what? 79.99. Right? You got to be very careful while entering data. But you know, this way I have to enter 17 rows, and then I'll be solving that task 2 and task 3. So this part is done, that entry and validation is done, right? Now for the remaining part, I've done something else, because I have to test this program every time, and every time it would run, every time I have to enter this 17 records. So it will be like too much time consumption, right? So a lot of time is to be consumed in that. To save my time, what I did was, I'm using another method, but you will be using this method in your pre-release task one. You'll be using this method, right? I'll do something else to create this table automatically, and my program would create this table automatically. How we'll see. Right, guys, the number of records are 17, the same thing. And then we'll have to create this table. Now over here, the value of I is equals to 1. And says item code number 1. That means it will go to array. It will go to array. It will come up here. It says I is 1. So that means to the one row, to the first row, item I, that means this box, should have A1. So we'll write that A1 here. And it says description of I, meaning description number 1 should be what? Compact. And then description number 3 should be what? 75. Oops. Make sure that, yeah, computer will be writing the way you have written it there, compact. So I've tried to create the table in the same form as it is there, right? And then I'm saying I is equals to I plus 1. That means it will move to the next line. There we have the values of I. Now the I is 2. It will record the data for row number 2 and then row number 3. And then every time doing that plus 1 in the value of I. And this way all 17 records are done. So we'll create the table for the 17 record like that. So I don't need to test my program. I've stored the data in it like that. Now, in task number 1, it says that you will be choosing item from these only, these only. So if you count, so it will start from 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8. So first 8 rows should appear on the screen. So that's what I did. I'm saying what I is equals to 1 to 8, output console dot write line. That's what I'm doing here. I'm showing the first 8 rows. Console dot write line is for the output. I meaning row number 1 would appear. Then this colon sign, then item would appear, description would appear. And then I've done this. You don't have to do it though. You just can write, you can simply can write price I, but I had to do it so that you know all the data can be printed in line. So space 30, that means every time it will subtract the length from this 30 to make it align. And after that would prompt you to enter. It says choose item from the first 8 rows, and you will be entering the item code. And this is the variable I'm using. Item code, it has to be defined on the top. So I code should be of a string types. I can define that here, comma I code. So in VB, variable should be declared on the top. So I've defined that here. And then there is another variable, total has to be defined on the top. Total is a numerical variable, and double can have all type of data in it. This double can have all type of numbers in it. All problems sorted out. So let me explain you till this point that it will show you first 8 rows on the screen like that. You see first 8 rows, and then it says it will give you this heading console dot write line. It will give you this heading console dot write line. Choose item from the 8 rows, giving it here. Choose item from the 8 rows. First 8 rows are there, so you can make selection and you can choose casing one of these, RAM one of these, hard drive one of these. And for that, I'm running a loop 1, 2, 3 times because you will be choosing 3 items, 1 casing, 1 RAM, and 1 hard disk. That is why I'm running the loop 1, 2, 3 times. Prompt you to enter the code you wish to order, and whatever code you would enter, that will go there in the item code. And after that, I'll check if that item code is A1, then whatever the price number one is, that should be added into total. So for item number A1, I'm entering the price number 1. Price number 1, this one. And I've already recorded that here. Price number 1 is this one. So it will automatically pick up the price according to the item chosen. So I've written all the items there. I will show you that total cost here. So let me run it and check again. Just in case if you select A1 and B2 and then the C2. So it will show you the total, but that execution of the program was done so quickly that you couldn't see output. So for that, we'll have to give it a pause. We have to write down instruction to pause this thing. So we'll write read key. We'll write read key there. A1, B2, and then we say C2. So the total cost is there, right? A1 is this one, 75. B2 is which one? 75 plus 149. You can do that using the calculator yourself, and then 89.99, right? Because my program is all tested, was working fine. So that's done. Task number 1 completed like that. But over here, you will not be writing these instructions. I wrote it down so that table would appear on the screen. This table would appear on the screen, right? Table should be created, pre-created automatically. So in exam, you will not be writing this. You will be writing down those other command that I've taught you first. I'll show you pseudocode in the end. Also, I'll make it so simple that you'll have everything on one page, because I personally believe that 14 years old, 15 years old student of O levels won't be able to do this much programming, and then I'll have to make it easier. So right now I'm just covering the whole thing, and after that I'll show you the easier version meaning in pseudocode form on one page only. So I'll move to task number 2 now. This is task number 1, 2, and 3, all 3 merged. So I'll just take that. Yeah, guys. So task number was done till here. We printed the total cost. Now we're starting the task number 2. Let's read what do we have in task number 2. Allow customer to choose whether to purchase any item from the other categories. Meaning, after making the selection of 3 basic components, if you want to select additional item, you can select additional item from these rows. Update the price, calculate the new price, and output the additional items. So we'll have to record the items also that you are ordering, the additional item, and then the new price has to be printed. So that's what I did. I'll just show you quickly here. It will print all 17 record onto the screen. When you run it, all 17 records are there. And then it says choose item from the first 8 rows. So you'll be choosing the basic component A1, B1, and C1. So from first 8 rows, you have chosen 3 components and then showing you the price. And then it says, do you want to order more additional items? You say, yeah, true. You want to order more. Which one? Suppose D1. So if you're ordering D1 only from row number 9, So we'll automatically pick up the price. And do you want to order more additional item? I say no, false. I don't want more items to be recorded. You can press enter. I will show you the cost without that additional item was here. A, B, and C. A1, B1, C1 was there. And you have added up D1. So additional cost has been added. And you see that new price 264.97. It was 204. And after that, there are other things also. These two things are related to task number 3. I'm not going in that detail right now, explaining you task number 2. So this row will show you all 17 records onto the screen. And after that, you are entering the basic item. You learned that in task number 1, and task number 1 order price was still here. It was showing you the total price of the basic component. This till this point, it was task number 1. We did that already. Now we're starting task number 2 from here. That means other than 3 items. Up till now, you have ordered 3 items. After that, the value of I is equivalent to 3. It says, do you wish to order more? Write true and false. And then taking the confirmation from you. When you confirm, if you don't confirm, if you don't want to order more, it will exit. It will go out. Otherwise, it will prompt you to enter the code of item you wish to order. Like I entered D1, right? So it will come up here, will prompt you to enter the item if you enter D1, suppose. So price number 9 is to be added. Why price number 9 is to be added? Reason. Because the price number 9, that is the raw number 9 actually. So it's going to take this price number 9 like that. 3, 3, 6, and 3, 9. That price number 9 is for the item number D, right? So, and this price number 9 should be added up in the total, one thing. The second thing is, I'm keeping a track of the item that you are ordering. You are ordering Accord. You are entering this item here. You entered D1. So that D1 should be recorded in ordered I. What is this ordered I? Ordered I is another array, and I'm keeping a track of additional items as well as older items are all moving in ordered items here. This ordered item is another array. So whichever item you would order, there will be an array ordered items. The first item you ordered was A1, so you will record A1 here. The next one was B1, so you will record B1 here. Third one that you ordered was C1, you will record C1 here. And then the additional item that you ordered was D1, you will record D1 here. So purpose of this was to purpose of this array was to record all items that you have ordered. So it will work like that. And then this will be taking additional item entry one by one. It says do loop until user says, no, I don't want to order more. User says not confirm. User will not confirm. User will write false. There will be keep on running. If you keep on saying true, 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 it will be prompting you to enter additional item. You can write D1, E1 as many times, right? And every time I will be adding up I. Why I is to be added? Because I'm using I here. Ordered item number 1, and then will be incremented, and new location of the array will hold that. So every time I will be recorded to the new location. Every item that you are ordering will be recorded to the new location. I will change. I will change. Ordered item number 1, ordered item number 2. So I has to be incremented every time. That is why I've written I is equals to I plus 1 here in this loop. So that is task number 2. And after the task number 2, the requirement were that I'll show you task 3 also, because task 3 is pretty small. In task 3, it says 5% discount if you're ordering only 1 additional item, 10% discount if you're ordering 2 or more additional items, and then output the amount of money that you have saved, meaning discount, and before discount value and after the discount value, meaning discounted total should also come, the new total should also come. So I've controlled that using case command. Okay, I was keeping a track till here. Previously, we were entering in task 1, we were entering only 3 items. A1, 1 casing, 1 RAM, and 1 hard disk. So we were entering 3 items. And then we were ordering more using this loop. And I was keeping a track. I was increasing. You are entering item D, item E. So I will be increasing every time. So I is actually a key variable that is keeping a track of how many items you have ordered. So over here I'm saying if case of I, if I has a value of 4, that means you have ordered 4 items. So 5% discount, 5% of total should be calculated and recorded in discount. And if you have ordered more than 4 items, then 10% discount has to be given of the total. So total multiplied by 10 and then discount should be calculated. And after that, over here, what am I doing? For example, you wanted to order, but you have ordered 4 items or 5 items. You did not, I ordered 17 different items. I'm running a loop that maximum, yeah, there can be 17 items that you would order, you know. So I would check if that order item has a value. If it is not equals to true, ordered item, if it is not equals to true, meaning what? That's the order item array. This is not equals to what? This is not equals to this quotation mark open and close meaning blank. This is not empty. If it is not empty, then show this. Otherwise, the rest of the rows are empty, so it should not be displayed because there is nothing here. So that's what I'm checking here. If the order item is not equals to blank, so it should display your order item, and whatever item you ordered, it should display that. And it should display the total cost, and then the discount, and then the total cost minus the discount. This is updated value after the discount. And actually, this discount is your discount, or you can say it's the saving. So I'll run it and check. So what if I write A1 and then I write B2 and then I write C2? And then I say, do you want to order additional item? Yeah, I want to order D1, one additional item only. And then I'll say false. So it would give you 5% discount like that. Here, discount came and final value came after the discount. Originally total was this. Discount is subtracted and you get that updated total, right? And showing you all the orders also, that what are the items that you have ordered, right? So all the items are listed there. So it was done, all 3 tasks completed. And with that, if you want to make it easier, right, you will not be writing this. I wrote it down because I wanted to enter the price and I wanted to create this whole table automatically by itself. But in exam, you have to enter the data. And for that, I showed you some other program. I showed you this particular program. So you will be entering data. This loop will allow you to enter the data in the table. We did that. So there's no mistake, nothing. So you will be writing this whole program. That's the task number 1. And your task number 2 is starting from here, from this point. And task number 3 has this discount thing in it, the select command in it, and the last line, the discount. And this was the thing, discounted value of before discount, after discount, you know, this total should be displayed. We can make it more simpler by introducing select command instead of this if command here. So if you want to do the same thing but using select command, so you can write select. Select is a substitute of if command, and select by using I quote, select case I quote, and these are the cases. You can write that under the select command, and then you can write, we don't want this. I'll just fix it. We don't want this. 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 We don't want this too. And we don't want this too. After that, in case we don't write then, in place of then, you put a colon, put a colon, put a colon, put a colon like that. And we say this, if the case is this, if the value is this, so write this case, just add this word case to fix it. right? So it's all done. This is how you can do this. So if you don't want to use if command, that can be complicated. This question comes in the paper that substitute of if command is what? Is a select command. So you can use select command here also. I've done that in the pseudocode. I'll come up with another episode, and you can always contact me for online tuitions related to computer science, AS level, A levels, O levels, in whichever corner of the world you are. It doesn't make any difference. We can be connected through online method, and I would love to help you out, guys. For online tuition, you can always contact me. Keep watching these videos and make sure, don't forget to click on the bell icon, and make sure that you like this video too, right? Regardless whether you know this stuff or you don't know this stuff, try and practice this thing, and I'll come up with the easier method, like I said, pseudocode, and I'll just show you pseudocode. I've written it also, but I'll have to explain that to the student, that how to convert a program into pseudocode format. So I've written that pseudocode also. I'll just quickly show you that, but I won't be able to explain it because I want this video to be finished within 45 minutes only. So it is a PRM pseudocode, task 1, 2, 3, all done. And you can see how small it is. We'll start with this. Task number 1, using if commands, all these if commands. And that's the task number 2. I've pointed out task number 2 is starting from here. That's the task number 2. Upper one is task number 1 till here. That's the task number 2. We don't write console or try in complicated method. We'll write simple method. We don't write dim and declare. I'll explain you the whole method, how to convert that into pseudocode some other time. That's the task number 2, and that's the task number 3, right? So task number 3, I've shown the lines that are written with red color, right? And I've done this one using case command. I've done that upper one. You got the case command there in the end, and then I've done this whole thing using the case command. This is another pseudocode. So either you follow this pseudocode, task 1, 2, 3, this one using full case commands in all the cases, and or you can do this one combination of case command and if command. So there are many people around, and then maybe when you watch the video, you'll find that two people are fooling around, and then they are, one is reading it out, other one is, having the discussion only but not solving it. I'm not one of those. I really wanted to help every single student all around the world, or the teacher. No problem. If you are a teacher, you can always get back to me. I would love to help you out, right? So I hope you have enjoyed this session. And then you can always get back to me if you need notes, you need the book, whatever is required, you can contact me. All the best, guys. Wish you all the best. There's few things uh, that we'll be discussing in our next video, right? So thank you very much for watching it. Keep watching my videos. We'll see you some other time. All the best.